Hello, friend. How are you doing today? If you're new here, I want to welcome you to the collective, and if you're returning, I'm really excited to see you again. And right now, we're going to focus on if you are feeling like really frustrated, if you're feeling just downright confused, aggravated, and like you don't understand what you're doing wrong, and I'm putting wrong in quotes because it's probably not what you're doing wrong, it's just that we don't have the full situation. We're trying to figure out what it is that we need to release or let go or do in order to move forward. So, as always, being the solution-oriented person that I am, we need to understand the problem. And you're gonna be like, Kirsten, the problem's obvious. I get it. You're in a situation, but hear me out. There's underlying causes that you're probably not aware of. So that's what I want these cards to help us find out. What are the underlying causes? What is it that's deeper than the obvious on the surface that is causing us to be in the thing that we're in right now? Because I promise you, it's more than just what you see on the surface. Unexpected blessings. So this card is one that always has different meanings, and it kind of makes me laugh. Because when I received it this time and I saw it this time, unexpected blessings was like one of those things where you were given something, but you're like, now what do I do with this? How do I handle this? Sometimes when something comes into your life, you just don't know what to do with it. You don't know where to go with it. You're not sure where to take it. Unexpected blessings can also be one of those cards that unexpected blessings are coming into your life. But right now, I feel like it's more along the lines that it's something that you've already received, not something that is coming to you in the future. Wusa. So whenever I get this card, it's a reminder that, you need to breathe. You need to breathe. You need to allow yourself to just find some stillness. And this person is sitting on, to me, it always looks like they're sitting on waves. I'm sure that's supposed to be an island, and I'm sure these are supposed to be the waves, but the way I've always seen it is like they're sitting amongst the waves and they're calming the waves down. They're getting to their own center. Because water is that element of our emotions. So if you are allowing yourself to get into the eye of the storm, which this kind of looks like it could be the center or an eye, it's one of those things where if you can get to that, you allow yourself to just get to the thing that is actually the problem, get to the serious things of the issue. And not even that, but allowing yourself to be in stillness when you're in such frustration and aggravation and feeling chaos constantly around you. Sometimes it's because you've just been moving too much, running too much, there's just been so much that you haven't even had the chance to take like one real deep breath. So give yourself the ability to just, shut the world out for like 5 minutes, sit in your car, go to the bathroom, whatever you have to do, and just allow yourself to have some deep breathing exercises and allow yourself to clear your head just for like 5 minutes. Glow up. So this card is one of my favorites because it doesn't tell you to grow up, it tells you that you're going through a glow up. And you're gonna be like, what's the difference? A glow up is more about you kind of entering into your own confidence. It's about you realizing that, you've been going through hell, you've been going through a lot, but you know what? All of a sudden you realize, hey, I got this. Am I happy about where things are at right now? No, but I know I can handle this, and I know 2 weeks ago, I didn't know how I was going to get through any of this, but now I know how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to keep working to make it better. Glow up is one of those things where it shows that you've already done part of the growth. It's not that you're done growing, because we're never done growing, but it's one of those things where it's like you're in a calmer part of the growth. You're at the part where you don't need to push to grow, you don't need to struggle to grow. You just need to look at yourself and say, wow, this is who I am, and I've come pretty far. Anger management. This card is pretty straightforward in its meaning, but let's talk about how right now, there's somebody crying, there's red face, there's chaos, anger management is one of those things growing up that I always thought was something where people were explosive and, they just couldn't control their temper. Which, yes, that is 100% part of it. But as I've gotten older and I've had to work through my own traumas and resolutions, it's one of those things where anger management is a lot more of understanding what anger is and how to work with it. Because anger is not a negative emotion, it is a neutral emotion. It's what you choose to do with the anger that decides whether you're going to view it from a good or a bad stance. If you use your anger to allow yourself to stress clean and to, or like just fill out an application because you're tired of being at the where you are, financially, or if you allow it to give yourself the chance to just go through and work something out that you've not worked out because you just need to get it done, well, then guess what? That's anger doing something good for you. But if you choose to be angry and you lash out on other people and you destroy things and, you go that route, well, then that's not going to be so great. So while this card doesn't really dictate or express like the whole range of how I see anger, it is one of those things where going forward, I want to ask you what it is that you do with your anger and how do you choose to work with it? Do you utilize it as a tool to, use that fire to get you to create something, to get you to clean something, to get you to purge something? Or do you use it as a fire to burn something, to destroy something, to damage something? Anger is a delicate balance in the beginning when you don't understand that you have control over it and you have power over how you use it. But once you understand how that you can utilize the power and understand how to kind of harness it, it can become the biggest blessing you ever have. And it could even be an unexpected blessing. Say less. This card's really just straightforward too. It's say less, do more. It's say less, complain more. And I'm not saying, when I say complain more, I don't mean don't stick up for your truth. Trust me, I live in America right now and there's a lot of things going on and a lot of things that aren't right. And yes, that does need to be talked about. I'm talking about say less, complain less is, don't complain about it being too hot. We can't control the temperature. It is what it is. Stop complaining about the fact that it's too rainy. It is what it is. Stop complaining about the fact that, the person sitting next to you wore red today and everyone was supposed to wear blue. My point is, stop being petty. Stop being gossipy. Stop being just overly focusing on what it is that doesn't serve anybody, that doesn't bring anything to the table. So say less is one of those things where if you're just speaking to hear your own voice, if the words that are coming out of your mouth aren't providing some knowledge, assistance, or truth, then just stop. If your words are all you can give and all you're doing is talking, but you're not doing any of the things that you're talking about, just stop. Again, still just stop. This card wants you to do things and wants you to act on the things that you say and wants you to actually show that you are going to do what it takes to do the things that you need to do. So let's say less and let's do more and let's complain less. Again, complaining is not you sticking up for your truth. Complaining meaning, that you're just focusing on negative to be a negative Nelly. Sorry if your name is Nelly. So now I'm going to ask the tarot cards what it is that has got us into this situation that has led us to think that we aren't, why are we clearly ignoring the growth that we're going through right now? Why are we just pretending that we haven't actually, why are we pretending that we haven't actually made a difference in our lives? Why are we saying that, what I have isn't good enough, what I'm doing isn't good enough? Why are we allowing other people's voices to influence our peace? Got the Four of Swords in its reverse position. Again, that need to rest. And this shows me that you're resisting rest. This shows me that you're choosing to not give yourself any type of break. You're giving yourself only the chance to continue to push forward and burn out over and over again, even though your body is literally giving you clear red flag signals like, hey, we really, really need to slow down. We really need to rest. We really just need to sit on the couch and just, turn our brain off for 20 minutes. We really need to get a good 8 hours sleep. We really need to give our brain a chance to relax and not be thinking about work, the bills, how we're going to solve, all the problems in the world. We just need to rest. All right, Five of Wands, conflict of action. Wands is that action-oriented suit, and it's you following your passions, your desires, and drives. Here's the thing, though. In this one, everything is clashing with everything, and nothing is working out because we're not prioritizing anything. You're trying to do everything at once. You're trying to cook dinner, walk the dog, feed the baby, do the dishes, do laundry, vacuum the carpet, mow the yard. I don't know why vacuum the carpet sounded weird, but you're trying to do all of that at once when really you just need to prioritize what's important. Maybe focus on making dinner and feeding the baby first. Mowing the lawn, the grass can grow another day. That's not that big of a deal. The laundry, you can get to that when you can get to that. Like, we need to prioritize. And maybe that's part of the reason why you're so exhausted, is that you are just trying to do everything at the same time and you're not prioritizing, you're not planning thoroughly. Because with our actions, we need to prioritize and we also need a plan. And right now in this card, there's no plan. You're just kind of winging it. And sometimes winging it works. In this case, it's not doing you any good. Look at the Hermit in its reverse position. So when you get the Hermit in its upright position, it's all about you going inward, about you, taking time to listen to your inner guidance and then, emerging into the world. Here, it's saying that you just know what you need to do. You're just refusing to do it. When I have the Hermit in its reverse position, it's you refusing to emerge back into society with this new knowledge that you have. Either you're choosing to pretend like you don't know the answer, or you're just saying, nope, it's not time yet, when really it should have been a time a week ago. You need to give yourself the understanding that holding on to the answer, holding on to the right thing, holding on to whatever it is that you're holding on to for that perfect moment, for the perfect timing, for when everything just fits, is not going to do you any good. Because there's no perfect time. A perfect time doesn't exist. I'm sorry. I don't know one person who was looking for the perfect time to do anything when, oh, there it is. I know exactly when it's going to be. Like, no. You just gotta say what you gotta say. You gotta do what you gotta do. You have to create what you have to create, and start now. Because the Hermit's here to say, it's time, like the planning's done. It's time to act. And then we got the Emperor in its reverse position. There is so much resistance right now about just creating something. Hardcore resistance at that. The Emperor in its reverse position is that card of just aggravation, feeling frustrated, and literally everything this reading represents in the beginning. Let's talk about the Emperor. So when he's in his reverse position, he's in that stage where I like to call the chaos stage, because the Emperor in his upright position decided that he's going to deep clean his room, and in order to do that, you have to pull everything out. Well, when you pull everything out, you go, oh my god, what the flip did I decide to do? And now you have a mess. That's where the Emperor in its reverse position comes in. Because it's one of those things where I don't care if you're men or male or female, I don't care, how you see yourself. This card represents you right now in this moment going, I started this thing, now I feel overwhelmed and I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to do. Well, just like when you deep clean your room and you pull everything out, everything has to find a new home. Everything has to find a new place, or it has to be thrown away. So in your life right now, do you need to find a new routine? Do you need to make a new schedule? Do you need to, give yourself the ability to reach out for help? Do you need to be honest about the situation that you're in? Are you so overwhelmed because you literally can't do it all right now by yourself? And that's okay. But you need to be honest with yourself. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've been reading for over 15 years. Actually, now that I think about it, it's over 20 years. But these four cards together are just straight up you being stubborn and saying, no, I'm not going to do it. It's like a kid who refuses to put on their shoes so they can go to the destination that they want to go to. And I can't say that I've ever had this combination of cards come out so distinctly to say a very straightforward message repeatedly over and over again. So why are you resisting so much? Why are you talking so much? And why are you refusing to see what you've done? And why are you just not willing to give yourself that ability to be in the stillness? You know what? We're going to ask the next deck that. All right. We need to know what it is that we need to do, what it is that we need to let go of, what it is that we need to see differently in order to find the, find the ability to see the growth that we've gone through, and that, help us to see things for what they really are, because right now we are just stuck and again, we're being stubborn. So, okay. What is it that we need to do? Right. I'm going to do it in this order. So the first card, adaptability. And remember, these are the two that jumped up out straight up. So this is why we're focused on these first. We have Woodwives, adaptability. This card is pretty straightforward. It's about you being flexible. It's about you doing what you need to in the moment for the moment. And you know what? Being flexible, you being adaptive, is about you realizing that you need to go with the flow and that you can't control everything. So if you're trying to have things work in a very structured way when they're not meant to be worked that way, why are you forcing it? Are you trying to force a, circle peg in a square hole? Are you trying to dictate every little thing about what you're trying to change and do? And if it doesn't work out, then you just stop? Because if that's what we're going, you're not going to get far. You're creating so much friction by trying to force it to be your way and not allowing things to happen their way that, there's not going to be any momentum. And that 100% explains what this Five of Wands could be about too. Because whenever you're trying to create change, it's not necessarily the way you want it to be done. It's about letting it happen in its natural way. It's about you doing the actions in the moments, but understanding that it's not necessarily going to be the way you pictured it. And then we got teachability. Hollow bone, teachability. And this is one of those things where you have to let yourself be willing to be taught. You have to allow yourself to be, teachable. And that means admitting that you're wrong. That means admitting that maybe the way that you've been doing things isn't right. That means admitting that maybe you really don't know what you're doing, and that is okay. The thing about allowing yourself to be teachable is you really have to give yourself the chance to be humble and say, this is bigger than me and I need direction. And understand that that's not a sign of weakness, but that is a sign of strength. If you can allow yourself to learn something new, that's huge. And if you allow yourself to unlearn whatever is keeping you from it to learn something completely different, that's even bigger, and you should be proud of yourself for that. Curiosity. Strangers, curiosity. So this card is a reminder that something different, something strange, something not how you perceived it isn't necessarily a bad thing. And allow yourself to be curious about it. Allow yourself to give into curiosity, because just like a child who always finds wonder and excitement in anything around them, you are just looking at everything and determining what its use is, determining what its function is before it even has a chance to spark joy, to spark curiosity, to spark inspiration, to spark anything to you. Allow yourself to see your life from a stranger's point of view and give yourself the ability to, look at things differently, to see things differently, to question things, to, allow things to just be different than what they currently are. Then we got stars in the sky, limitless possibility. So this character is in a meditative state, and I want to point out how important that is for this card. Because stars in the sky is about you connecting with the divine. Limitless possibility, that is 100% achievable, always in meditation. That Wusa card. The stillness, the need for stillness, the need to speak less. Meditation. And if you are giving yourself very restrictive ideas on how things are going to look going forward, we need that stillness, and we need to have a chance to let divine come through. Then we got horn cactus, resourcefulness. So this is about you looking around you and seeing what it is that you do have, what it is that you do have going for you, what habits are already helping you, what routines are already aiding you, what, materials in your possession right now are going to help you make the changes that you want to make, and utilizing those resources. And it's in the understanding that, yes, you might not have exactly what you want for this project or for this change, but you have to start with what you have first. You have to start with what you have, and then you can upgrade as you go along. But it starts with you doing with what you have now in order to make those differences. Now I want to ask for some encouragement, for some understanding, and just for some gentle words of why we're going through this time that we're going through, why we're going through this struggle. Because I get it. There's a lot on your mind, and it's one of those where you're almost too close to the picture and you just need to give yourself a break and a chance to look back. I think of it like a painter, or even when you're painting walls, like literally, it's one of those things where if you're up close to whatever it is, you're so focused on this one thing that you're doing that you need to take a step back and you need to see the whole picture. It's the difference of me just holding one card to the camera and having you focus on one card versus letting you see the whole reading. All right, we have courage. Be brave enough to chase your dreams. So while this seems like a simple thing, having courage is hard. And I just want to remind you that courage is not something that erases fear, but it's you doing the thing in spite of the fear. Gratitude. Practice gratitude daily to attract more blessings. This probably feels like a slap in the face, but it's not. Because I've been through some really low points where just everything happens at once and I'm just like, what is it that I have to be thankful for? And then I think about it and I remember there are things I have to be thankful for. In my lowest points, I still have a bed I can sleep in. I still have blankets to keep me warm. I still have a roof over my head. I still have food in my fridge. In my lowest points, I'm still breathing in clean air. In my lowest points, I am still wearing clothes that are mine to wear. In my lowest points, I can find something, anything to be grateful for. And when I start doing that, I realize that, I'm not as desolate as I thought I was. And, while I feel like the world is just on my shoulders and I have nothing going for me, it allows me to see things, that there are still things working in my favor, and that everything is not as bad as I thought it was. Again, it's that switching perspective. Truth. Live your truth authentically. 100%. This is a straightforward card. You need to remember to, let yourself be you. You need to focus on yourself. And this glow up, you need to give yourself permission to say, this is who I am. And right now, who you are might be a really confused person, and that's okay. If you're authentically confused right now, guess what? That is a state to be in. And I think most of us are there anyway. It's not about having all the answers. It's just about knowing your truth. Intention. Set clear and focused intentions. Once again, the last card wrapping up this reading beautifully. What is it that you intend to do? What is your goal? What is your true intention of all the things that you're going through, all these actions, all the words, all the craziness and the chaos? What is your true intention? If you can focus on your intention and let everything else just kind of go, you'll realize how quickly things fall into place and how easy things can be. And if you're confused about any of this, go ahead and write the question in the comments, because confusion is just another state of being. But when we get confused, we ask questions. And even if the answers that we receive aren't the right ones for us, it helps us to know and narrow down what is right for us. I don't know how many times I flipped a coin just to find out what I really want. If I want to get Italian or Greek food for dinner, and I won't know until I flip that coin, and then it's because I have a hope for what it is I really want. And yeah, that's a pretty petty, example of how these things work, but it's a really obvious and easy example. And it's one of those things too where if you're just that unsure, just reach out to other people, talk to them, hear other people who are going through the same experiences as you are, because we are in a whole collective here and we do support each other. So you're not walking this alone. You're not dealing with this alone. We're all here for you. I'm here for you. And we want to see you succeed, and you're going to succeed. It's just about trusting yourself and giving yourself that chance to just breathe, to just be still for a little bit. And if you want more information, there is a link in the description below for private readings. I do still have some available time, so feel free to hit me up. And this is all I have for you today. I wish you the best of luck with your situation. You're gonna do amazing things. It's just about you prioritizing and finding the actions and how you're going to do it. I wish you the happiest day that you can have. I love you so much, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye-bye.